It can be difficult to keep your team organized around all the tasks that you need to complete in a day, but you can make an update to your automatic task tracker in Google Sheets to do just that. So here's the full tutorial. We're going to click on column A of the task list and insert one column to the right. We'll name that as Assign, and we'll go ahead and put this in both sections. We'll click on the empty cell in row 2 as well as some blanks in the next section. Go to Insert, drop down, and here we're going to put the names of our employees. So I'll put Olin and I'll put Pete. If you want to assign colors, you can. And to have a third example, I'll put Maria as well, then hit Done. And you can see that the drop downs appear in the cells that were selected originally. But all we need to do is change the range. So we'll go ahead and delete the last part of the rows to make it go through the end of column B, and we're good. So now the drop down has everything that we selected. Now we're going to right click on the task list tab to duplicate it, then right click and we're going to rename that as Olin's tasks. And pay attention to what you're naming this because it will matter later on. For the week start date, I'm just going to put equals. Then I'll go back to the task list and click on cell D1. That way the date only needs to be adjusted on the main page. We'll go ahead and duplicate Olin's tasks and change the name of that to Pete's tasks. And then we're going to do this as many times as we need to until we reach the last employee. In this case, I have 3. So I'm going to duplicate it one more time and change the last one to Maria's tasks. So now we're all set when it comes to the new configuration. I'm going to go up here to Extensions, App Script. And this might look a little bit scary, but don't worry, it's actually pretty easy. The first thing you're going to do is change every single column number and increase it by 1. So for example, instead of 4, the trigger for the different statuses is on 5, so we'll change 4 to 5. And then we want to increase all the different timestamp locations by 1 as well. We'll change this 3 to 4, we'll change this 10 to 11. So now the timestamp part is done, and we'll go down to the move automation. And once again, we're just going to increase everything by 1. So we'll change 4 to 5, 5 to 6. And we're going to do that for every single part of this section. So we'll change 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 4 to 5, and 5 to 6. All right, and the one that says ready is your last one. So now we're going to go up to the first one that says if it's done and not equal to recurring. And I'm going to copy everything except for the last closed curly bracket. Right above the last closed curly bracket, I'm going to press enter and paste that. I'm going to delete this section regarding recurring tasks. Make sure to pay attention to which curly brackets I'm leaving and which ones I'm not. I'll change done to Olin. I'll change done, the bottom done, to Olin's tasks. And I'll change the 5 to a 2. And that's because our trigger is in column 2. Now I'll copy from if all the way through the curly bracket. Hit done, make sure the if lines up, and press enter, and do the same exact thing for Pete. So I'll change Olin to Pete, and I'll change Olin's tasks to Pete's tasks. And I'm going to do the same thing for every single employee that I have. So I'll paste the new section right below Pete, and I'll change Pete to Maria, and Pete's tasks to Maria's tasks. Now up top, I'm going to click on Save, and then I'm going to press Run. And this will likely prompt you to allow some more authorization. So we'll click on Review Permissions, sign into your account. You'll click Advanced in the bottom left, and then go to Task Tracker, then click Allow. And this is just giving it authorization to make changes on behalf of you to this spreadsheet, so it can do the edits for you. You'll see this error message at the bottom, but that's perfectly fine. It will still work. So we'll go back to our spreadsheet, and we'll put the word test inside the task list, and then we'll click Olin. And if it's working properly, it should automatically move from the task list to the next available row in Olin's task. You can see here I had a rogue timestamp, so that's why I skipped a column, but everything appears to be working correctly. Now we can change this to the next person. So we'll go to Pete, and you can see that that timestamp appears there because we had duplicated the original one. So this time I'm going to go ahead and delete that timestamp, and then I'll move it to Maria. And as you can see, it goes directly to that next available line, which is in the top of the column. We'll change the progress/status to part, and it should move to the next available line in the parts tab. And then we can change it to ready, and it should go back to our main task list. And back in our task list, you can see that it skipped a line, and that's because we had that original timestamp that was causing all the issues. I'll go ahead and delete that, and we're good to go there. And finally, we can test out the completion process by clicking on pending and then done. But before we click on done, we need to update 2 more tabs, and that's the part tab. We just simply need to add a new column to the left. So the new column B will be assigned and everything will line up properly. And we need to do the same exact thing for the done tab. So we'll insert a new column to the left of column B and put that as assigned. That way things align properly when it's moved over. So now we can hit done, and it should automatically move from the task list to the next line in the Done tab, which it does. And you can see the timestamps appear there as well, and everything's looking good. On the Visualizations tab, we now have 1, so it's all working properly. Now your team tracker is complete, and like and subscribe for more.